Here we have a rare and important book written in English in the year 1604. This book was written by a Jesuit priest named Robert Parsons, later known as Robert Parsons. So this is during a time when Christianity was a turbulent time for Catholicism in England. This is a Catholic book. It's a pro-Catholic book, which, from what I'm understanding, I haven't read this yet, but I'm reading a lot of notes and I'm beginning to actually read the book. So I'm curious. It rallies against the protagonist Foxe, who is Protestant. So it compares in a parallel, in a calendar, which is quite interesting, Catholic saints with their, I guess, equivalent Protestant martyrs. And it discusses, it's a brief look at the saints and the martyrs in a parallel look with a calendar. And there's also additional text. I plan to study this as a book, as an antique object. And also, I'm curious about the actual writing within. I believe this is early modern English. This is the era of Shakespeare. So maybe Shakespeare had this in his library. So as you can see, the cover's rough. This is vellum, which is an animal skin. It's just amazing having a book from the year 1660 or 1604. Pardon me. I love antiques, and I push the limit of oldness. How old can I find an object? And this is quite remarkable. As you can see, 1604 in English. Now, at first reading this, it's awkward, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. There's things like F. The F's are actually S's, and the W's are actually two V's, as the common English reader would observe. But the V's are U's, and the W is actually two U's, hence the name W. So let's look at something in this book. Let's look at an excerpt. I'll try my best. This is about a woman. This is the Catholic saints in October calendar. I'll just read a brief piece here. This was a holy virgin who, under Diocletian the emperor, being accused of being a Christian and a confessor constantly the same, was cast first into the fire and then into the sea, from both which, being delivered miraculously, her teeth were beaten out of her head, and her hands and feet were cut off, and so she gave up the ghost in prayer. Wow. Pardon my rough reading there, but I'm still getting accustomed to reading this, the text and the early modern English. There's a lot of things spelled phonetically, which is quite charming in my opinion. As you can see, the condition, but to me, I'm not a condition snob. I'm fascinated by the history, by the importance of the document. I love old things, and this is extremely old version of the title is, it's doesn't roll off the tongue. The title is Third Part of a Treatise of the Three Conversions of England, written by, again, Robert Parsons, printed in 1604. This is an antique English book of Catholicism.